Guarda, guarda, guarda la fiera, guarda, guarda la fiera, guarda la fiera,
Harm's been done sometimes by Christian people, well-meaning Christian people, who've talked about these issues in a judgmental, with harsh rhetoric, with judgment, and I think that's very unhelpful. If you like, we should talk about these issues with tears in our eyes, rather than with judgment in our voices. So I think that's the first principle, and I should certainly try and do that, to be sensitive to the pain as we talk about issues. The second thing, of course, we have to remember that these human issues are not just issues out there, out in secular society, a problem for society. No, they're in here, they're in this room. I don't know anything about you, but I can guarantee that many of the issues that I will just mention actually touch many of us in this room. For instance, issues about infertility. Well, the statistics suggest that 1 in 7 couples in our society suffer from infertility, will struggle, have difficulty in having children without assistance. So I can guarantee you a whole number of people in this room who have been affected by infertility and who know something of the pain, the struggle, the agony that. My professional life as a neonatologist caring for newborn babies in a large intensive care unit in London. And this is a photograph taken on the unit. This is a very preterm baby, born at about 26 weeks gestation. This baby is 9 months. This baby born after 6 months, weighing perhaps 750 grams, £1.5 pounds, struggling for life. And it's because of technology that these babies are now able to survive. 30, 40 years ago, the chance of that baby surviving would be about 10% of risk of disability. Now the chance of survival is approaching 85 to 90%. Although there is a majority of these babies actually will do well and live a normal life, but there is still significant issues about possibilities of disability as well. And of course the impact on parents of struggling with a very tiny, sick baby, wondering what the future might hold, is enormous. And this just illustrates the technological environment. This is, I sometimes say, on the baby intensive care unit, the first problem is to try and find the patient. This is the baby's head, this is the baby's body, and all the rest is the technology which is supporting the baby. So an intensely sophisticated, technologically advanced kind of medicine. We invest enormous resources. It costs about £1,200 per baby per day to provide this level of care. The total cost of caring for a baby like that could easily be £50,000 to £100,000, all paid for by the NHS, by our taxpayers. We have a huge staff of about 120 health professionals working on the intensive caring of babies. We invest, total budget is about £7 million a year. So clearly, society is saying that these babies are significant, that they're worthwhile, that they're worth investing, that this little life has a profound intrinsic importance. But just one floor away, in the same hospital, is another technologically sophisticated area of medicine, the fetal medicine unit, where pregnant mothers are referred from a wide area of southeast England, and sophisticated scanning techniques are used, often genetic assessment. This is the procedure of amniocentesis, where fluid sample is taken from the uterine cavity, from the womb, and is then analysed for genetic abnormalities or variants. And this is the chromosomes from a little girl. Notice this little girl, she's got 2 X chromosomes, but she's got an additional 21 chromosome here. So this is the chromosomes from a baby with Down syndrome. And if she survived, we know she would have Down syndrome. We don't know how severe it would be. There's a wide range of severity, the outcome, and also in terms of the possibility of other congenital malformations and so on. So the long-term outlook for this child is extremely unclear. I said if she survived because, in fact, if this particular pattern of chromosomes is detected before birth, mothers will be offered to even if it's detected quite late, towards the later stages of pregnancy. And in our society at the moment, about 90% of mothers will choose to have an abortion if this particular chromosomal pattern is detected. In other words, they feel that because the technology has allowed us to identify this pattern, it would be better to end that life. In the UK, it's legal for abortions to be performed for medical reasons at any stage throughout pregnancy, all the way up to term. And although it doesn't happen very commonly, it certainly happens in our hospital that when significant abnormalities are detected later on, the parents are given the option of having an abortion even late in pregnancy, and that at a steady state we've had abortions performed at 26, 28 weeks, 30 weeks, or even beyond, where there's been a medical underlying problem. And on a number of occasions, I or one of my colleagues is called away from the neonatal intensive care unit, where we're struggling to save the life of a tiny little baby, to talk to a mother who's considering having an abortion in a baby who is considerably more advanced and developed than the baby whose life we're struggling to save 1 floor down. And you say, how is it possible for one society to be doing these two activities which seem utterly contradictory? And the answer is the value which our society places on autonomy, my right to choose, autonomous. Literally, I make my own rules.
Guarda, guarda, guarda la fiera, guarda, guarda la fiera, guarda la fiera, fiera la fiera, che pisa del tajo la ribera, y los ganados se dan por perdidos.